Okay, so we're back on the bench with this silver cassette recorder, boombox. Um, so I've repaired this in previous videos, which I'll link in the description down below. But what I've noticed is that this one, the tape number one, is actually, I would say 10 to 15% less in volume than this one, the second one. And also it sounds a little bit muddy. So it sounds not distorted really, just not as clear as what's coming out of the second drive. So I'm thinking that perhaps the head needs to be aligned. It's not something I've done before, so that's what I'm going to do in this video. Give that a shot. So what I've read is that you need to, first of all, remove the door. I'm just doing that by pushing those tabs in. There's a little spring-loaded mechanism in there. And that gives you access to, excuse the squeaky chair, gives you access to the head down here. I need to find something that's non-magnetic that I could use as a pointer. I haven't been as careful with magnetic things as I should have been. I realise I don't have a demagnetizer unit. I'll have to get a hold of one. But anyway, here's the head down here. And you can adjust the head's distance from the tape by a screw, which I'm just searching for now, and I'm wondering whether or not it's not possible to do that from this side, and you have to take the unit out again like I did when I replaced the tapes. That looks to be the case. There is no adjustment on this side that I can see, no special screw that I could turn from this side that would adjust the distance of the head. So there's a screw there. Don't know what that's for. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to remove the back and get to the unit from the other side in order to make that adjustment, which means I'll have to adjust it outside of the case. That's all right, I've already done that before. Maybe if that's the case, I can also take a look at the speed of the motor as well, because when I replaced the belt I didn't adjust the speed. I did notice that the speed, I think the speed on this drive, the second drive, is around about 50 hertz out, 50 to 70 hertz out, and this one's more like 100 hertz because I didn't even adjust it. I don't know if that'll make a difference, but if we're going to get it out, I think I should do that. Okay, so the exciting part is going to happen. I'm going to turn this thing on. I've got some white cloth underneath the different parts, trying to insulate them so that they don't short out. But there's no guarantees. So when I turn the power on, they could see the magic smoke come out. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, sounds good. Oh, of course I need to turn the unit on. There is the power. Over here. Oops. Okay. So that's happening. Now I can't tell what mode it's in. But it's in tape. Mode all the way down is mono. In the middle is stereo. Okay, let's see what happens if we press play. Do we get a signal? Yes, we do. Yeah, I've lost my phone. Where'd my phone go? So let's turn this on. And what we're looking for is 3150. So that's 30. The wow and flutter is really significant. Why can't I get in there? We've got 3140 to 3170. And try and sneak up on that, see if I can get any better. Yeah, so it's jumping around quite a bit. So conventional wisdom says, what I've been looking on the internet says, that if you buy cheap belt type belts from the internet and you use them there, you're going to get a lot of wow and flutter. You're going to get a lot of variation, as opposed to buying high quality belts. So I guess I should do that, but I'm not at that stage yet where I feel more comfortable enough to start spending, I don't know, $20, $24 on a belt for these cassette decks that I'm picking up for $15 to try and learn how to repair them. So yeah, anyway, so I'm sort of wondering whether that's going to make any difference. So I might put a tape in it and see how it sounds. Okay, so what I noticed was I put the tape in here and I played it back, and then I put it into the other drive, and there is a noticeable difference in volume between the two. Now, I don't know if that's something to do with the circuitry, in the machine, whether one channel is going to be better than the other. But I'm determined to try just tweaking this azimuth setting by hand and just seeing what happens. I mean, this is an experiment, so I'm just going to do it, and we'll learn something, I guess. So I'm going to start playing the tape. In my head, I know how loud it should be. I don't know whether this is going to affect the loudness, but we'll see what turning that does. Oh, well, that's interesting. I'm not sure that the volume increased, but all of a sudden the muddiness disappeared and it became, the treble became really nicely in focus. Um, so what it really did make a difference. Might just try it a bit more and see what I can come up with. It sounds so much better. I'm just going to try and put it back into the other one, and I don't think it's made a difference necessarily to the volume. Let's give it a go. I think that tape is actually it's a bit old. I'll have to lubricate that tape. The volume is completely different. So the second one has much higher volume than the first one, but I can tell you right now that this sounds so much better having tweaked that. It's really weird. As I tweaked it, I could hear almost like it was out of phase, and all of a sudden it became in phase. I don't know whether that's just my imagination, but it's definitely feels a lot better. It's missing that muddiness that actually I was looking at, that was causing me to come in and look at this again. So I don't know about the volume. I don't think that as an adjustment has anything to do with the volume. I think that might be something else. And for all I know, that might be the way this cassette deck was. I might have to do a bit more research. But I'm pretty happy. So I think that's the best that I can do with this tape deck. So I'll put that back together and move on to the next project, I think. Okay, so I lost the audio to this bit, but really I just want to sum up. What did I learn from this experience? What I learned was that I think that the belts that I'm using, the quality is too poor. The WoW and Flutter, I couldn't get anywhere near what I've seen other people get on similar tape decks. You know, when I watch videos on the internet. So I think I should invest in a good belt for the next project that I do. Just tweaking the azimuth by ear. I mean, it definitely did make a difference, but I noticed that people are using oscilloscopes to actually make that adjustment. But I don't think I will. I do have an oscilloscope. I'll save that for the next project when I get a decent belt. I have a unit here that is really interesting. I've been saving that until my skills get up a little bit better, so that I don't butcher it, because I really want to keep this other unit, although I do have another silver cassette deck that I can play around with as well. So I'll make that decision next video. Yeah, but that's about it. So, I mean, these are old tape decks. Yeah, they're simple, but there's a lot of tweaking to them. Definitely a lot of fun. So I'm just going to keep playing around with them. If you would like to give me a thumbs up for this video, that would be great. I've got some really cool gear coming up. A reel-to-reel cassette deck. I've got an iconic cassette deck. Yeah, I said iconic, from Philips. Yeah, I've got all sorts of interesting stuff lying on the bench, just waiting to be butchered by me. Ciao.